Hi guys, welcome to your first lesson, Understanding 1 on odds and evens. In today's lesson, we are going to ask the question and wonder, what are odd and even numbers? We're going to learn about these two words and what they actually mean, the word odd and the word even, and how we can apply them to numbers. So the first one that we're going to look at is this word here, even. Now you might have heard that word before. You might have heard it maybe with your brothers or sisters, where your parents might say you've got an even amount of food. And all it really means is that there's an equal value or equal amount. So if you have something even to somebody else, it is similar to the word equal. So when we look at even numbers, this is how they work. Even numbers can be divided equally, there's that word again, equally, into two groups. So even numbers can be shared equally into two groups so that they have the exact same amount in each group. Let's have a look at this example here. So it says even numbers can be divided into two groups. You can see I have here 2 stars. There you go. 1 and 2. So I'm going to show you, here are my two groups, how I can divide those stars equally into the two groups. I put 1 star in this group and 1 star in this group. You can see that this group over here has the same amount in here. They have equal amounts, which remember is the same as saying they have even amounts. So the number 2 is even because we can share it equally. That's the same for the number 4. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stars up here, and I'm going to share them equally into two groups. So put the first star here in that group and the second star there, 1 over here again and 1 there. So I've divided all those stars into the two groups, and you can see this group over here has 2 and this group has 2. They are equal amounts in each group, so the number 4 is also an even number because you can see it's been divided into two equal groups and that it's fair amongst these two. There's none left over. Okay, so the word odd is pretty much the opposite to even. You might have heard this word odd before as well. You might say, oh, there's an odd number of players in handball, or you might have heard the saying, oh, you're the odd one out. And that pretty much means that you can't share a certain amount evenly. So there's an odd one out, or something that doesn't fit in equally to two groups. Okay, so for example, we've got some stars again here. We've got 3 stars this time. 1, 2, 3. This time I'm going to try and share them again into our two groups. But you'll see if I put 1 star in this group and another star in this group, and then I need to put my third star into this group. Hold on a second. This group here is not the same as this group here. There's more in this one, isn't there? And that means that the two groups aren't even. And if they're not even, then that's what we call odd. This star here doesn't fit into either of those groups to make it even. So that's kind of the example of how we might say this is an odd star. It doesn't fit into either group evenly. So the number 3, which is the amount of stars that we had, is an odd number. Let's try it with these stars as well. We've got a group of stars up here. We don't have our group circles down here this time, but we're still going to give it a go. If I move this star over here and I start to make another group, maybe then this star over this side, And this one can come and join this group over here, and this star can come and join this group. I've still got this star left. Now, if I try to put it with this group over here, you will see that our two groups aren't even. This star, the last one I moved, doesn't fit into the groups to make it even groups, so it is an odd one out. And that would mean that all these stars together, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can't be separated into two groups evenly. Another way of figuring out if a number is odd is by putting all of the numbers into pairs, or the amount of things that you have. So I've got these counters here, and we're going to have a look to see if they can be put into pairs. If something can be put into pairs properly, then it's even. So if I take this one and that one there, they're a pair. This one there and that one there is a pair. These two are going to be a pair, and these two are going to be a pair. See how they all match up nicely as a pair with one another? That makes it an even number, and if we count them all, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of them have a pair, there's none left out. There's 8 of them all together, so 8 is an even number. Okay, we can have a look at this one as well. So if we try to match up these counters, we'll see if it is either an odd or an even number, and we'll figure that out. If it's even, they'll all have a pair, and if it's odd, then there'll be an odd counter that doesn't have a pair. So if we put these two together in a pair over there, and these two in a pair together, and this one, we can see this one here doesn't have another counter to be paired up with, so it is the odd one out, and that means that all of these counters together is an odd amount of counters. And if we count each of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, we can see that the number 7 is going to be an odd number because there is one left out that doesn't match up with the pair. Here is a little rhyme called odd and even that can help us to remember whether a number is even or whether a number is odd. So I'll read it along with you. If you are an even number, you always have a pair. So if you look around, your buddy will always be there. But if you are an odd number, there's always a lonely one. He looks around to find his buddy, but he's the only one. So that's just like we said, even numbers, they can always match up with a pair, but odd numbers, there's always one left out, an odd one out. When we look at our numbers up to 10, there are 5 different numbers that are even and that can be divided evenly into two groups. The number 0 is even, the number 2 is even, the number 4, the number 6, and the number 8. All of these numbers are even. And we can see when we look at their piles below that they can be split down the middle into 2 even groups. So the number 2, for example, we have a group here and a group here, and they are equal groups. Each has one counter in it, so 2 can be divided into 2 equal groups. The number 4, if I draw a line straight down the middle, it's equal amount of 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. The number 6, if I draw a line down the middle, there's a group over here that has 3 and a group over here that also has 3, so it is equal 2 groups with the same amount in it. And also 8, if we draw a line down the middle, there's a group of 4 over here and a group of 4 over there. They are 2 equal groups. So all of these numbers 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8 are even numbers because they can be divided straight down the middle into two equal groups. Our odd numbers, when we're looking at numbers from 0 to 10, are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. They are all our odd numbers because they can't be divided into two equal groups. And let's have a look. If I'm looking at this one counter here, can I divide that into two equal groups? Well, no, because one group would have 1 and the other group would have nothing. If I look at 3, this group here, I can't divide it into two equal groups either, because if I drew a line down the middle, there's a group with 2 in it and a group with 1. It isn't even. I haven't got enough for them to each have a pair that matches up. That's the same for 5. There's a group of 3 and a group of 2. It's not even. And we can see also with the group of 7 that they don't all match up. Here's a pair, there's another pair, there's another pair, and look, there's one guy down here who's left out. So it doesn't divide into two equal groups, so it is an odd number. Same with 9. It's a pair there, a pair there, a pair there, a pair there, and oh no, there's one left out. So there is an odd number. So just like what we looked at, our even numbers are from 1 to 10, or 0 to 10, are 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, because they can be divided equally into two groups. And our odd numbers that can't be divided equally into two groups and have something left out are 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Another quick poem to help us remember even and odd. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Being even is just great. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Being odd is just fine. If we can remember that these numbers are our evens and that these numbers are our odds, we are going to be just fine, because we can then apply odd and even to really, really big numbers as well, and not just looking at the ones up to 10. So in our next lesson, that's what we're going to look at, how we can figure out if a number is even and odd, even if it's a huge number with lots of digits in it. Great job today, guys. Well done. Give yourselves a thumbs up. You worked really hard. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.